This is very interesting.
Chris as the next scammer.
Humans are really good at hallucinating.
What do you mean?
I had been scammed by a couple of agents. I've been scammed by a business partner because I'm a nice guy. Now, I've developed some more savvy skills. The controller ego state who keeps track of a lot of things, and he's doing a superb job, I might add.
Now I know what you're talking about.
My wife, because I'd been burned so many times, when Chris wanted to work with me, this guy had this, 8-figure freaking job in downtown. Well, if you count the pennies, in downtown Toronto. And she thought, why does he want to work with you? There's something wrong here. How do you know he can trust this guy? But brilliantly, he waited years. He kept working with me over the years. And now Heather just loves him and thinks he's like the greatest guy on earth next to me.
Well, we have built a pretty awesome.
But she perceived him because of her perception of the dicks and the bastards who had scammed me financially in the past, just figured I was an easy mark. And that therefore Chris must be a scammer, because why would he want to work with me when he's got all his life all together, which was true, that he had his life together. But he wanted to work with me because he wanted to do this, what we're doing instead of that.
I had no idea that, the whole podcast idea that came about before we even started teaching the classes together, because you were still working with NLP Canada. And I thought, well, we should do a podcast on hypnosis and personal development, because no one's really got a good one, or at least at that time, there was nothing specifically in hypnosis. And we've really turned it into a mix. We do talk about hypnosis here.
Sometimes.
But actually not all that much.
No,
but the
really.
Original idea was, let's do one just on hypnosis. I'll ask you cool questions and you'll just talk, and it'll be awesome and it'll help fill your classes.
Yeah.
Then we're doing them together. Now we got the MMHA and all these other amazing things. But I remember when Heather said, why do you want to do this? The dinner that we had at the Keg, when I pitched the idea.
Yeah, you took us out for dinner.
Well, why do you want to do that? Because the initial view was, well, we're not going to make a whole lot of money at this at all, but I want to prove that I can do this.
Yeah, and you create
because then I can get the heck out of the corporate world and not have my job as a stock analyst anymore, and not leave the house before my kids are awake and get home after they're asleep many nights.
Right.
And you know what? That was a freaking great decision. So in 2011, I got the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah, you did,
and
man.
We went full time to do this.
Then we became best friends, and that's the best part. And now we hang out with him and his wife.
It's almost 12 years ago, man.
Heather told me to tell you again today. She said, tell Chris how grateful I am and how brilliant he is. She did say that before I left.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, let's look at this. Strong beliefs. When any of us hold strong beliefs, we create, I'm saying beliefs. I don't know.
Beliefs.
We create reality tunnels. And reality tunnels filter out that which does not agree with our model of the world.
So when you mind read and then you create a belief out of that, and
or
then
not even mind reading, just let's say we have an external perception that doesn't even have to be another person.
Something is there, you perceive it in a certain way. You form a belief based upon your perception, and then you go out into the world, but you're actually in this tunnel that is, everything is based on the reality you think is true.
Yes, that's right. And we filter out things that do not fit with it.
Yes.
In fact, if I believe that all Brits have Austin Powers teeth, well, that's actually true. Mine are just under veneers here. If I believe all British people have tremendous senses of humor, and which I do believe, when a Brit says something, I laugh really, it's brilliant. Whereas if, an American or, a guy from Spain said the same thing, I think, it's mildly amusing. But my reality tunnel says, it's got to be hilarious because he's a Brit. I went to England in the 80s, went into a pub, asked if they had real ale, which is still sort of live, and it comes right out of the wood. They pump it up. And I said, do you have any real ale, barkeep? And he looks, he goes, real ale. Not today, sir. Or any other day for that matter. Just fantastic.
That's great.
We're filtering all the time. I said, the confirmation bias. Even when we Google information, we Google things that confirm what we believe. So if I believe that, Bill Gates is a dick, I'm going to Google, is Bill Gates a dick? And then all the people, it's a million people say, Bill Gates is a dick. And I go, see?
Yeah. Oh, like here. Let's use this as a prop so we're not using the actual word. But let's say that you hold a certain belief about certain medical products, okay? You could Google... I'm going to call it a red flag instead of the actual thing.
Google a red flag.
Why are red flags dangerous? Yeah. Give me all the reasons red flags are dangerous. Yeah. And conversely, why are red flags safe and effective? Yeah. Either one you could Google, and you are now going in with confirmation bias rather than a neutral phrase like data on red flag safety, data on red flag efficacy. These are all more neutral, right? Or analysis, reports on, studies on, clinical trials on, not painted with your view of confirmation bias.
Correct.